Buenos dias, Mount Pleasant. This past week was a busy one, and we've got all the details on what went on at MPHS. I'm Julian, here with my co-host Christian, and the first thing on the agenda today is our look back at last week. Christian, tell us what's been going on in the athletic department and what we have in store.
Sure thing, Julian. Last week, our varsity football team traveled to Marshall. The score was Marshall 29, Mount Pleasant 7. The Tigers move on to 101 in district and look to get healthy and clean up the little things during bye week. Also, the volleyball girls play on the road against Nacogdoches. Good luck, ladies.
Each week we try to highlight a different program at MPHS. This week, our featured program is HOSA. HOSA is a career and technical student organization specifically for those interested in healthcare careers. HOSA aims to promote career opportunities in healthcare and enhance the quality of healthcare education. It's an excellent way for students to explore health-related fields, gain practical experience, and develop important skills for their future careers. HOSA advisors are Mrs. Hutchings and Mrs. Houchin. Applications for HOSA are due by October 16. If you would like to know more information, speak with a HOSA officer.
Hello, I'm Sam, joined by our HOSA officers Frankie Rodriguez and Lizzie Buck. Frankie, what made you decide to want to join HOSA?
Well, going into my freshman year of high school, I knew I wanted to be in the health field, so I took principles of health. And once there, I learned about HOSA. And I heard all these great things about HOSA, but one thing caught my mind. Everybody in there wants to be there because they want to be in the medical profession. So once I joined, I learned more about the medical field and just socialization.
Very, very interesting. Lizzie, what does it mean to you to be a HOSA officer?
So, to me, being a HOSA officer means that I get to serve as a role model for the other students in our organization. Since I am the vice president, I like to make sure everybody is included, and I also like to make sure that the students have an understanding of their competition and make sure that they are confident in what they're competing in.
Incredible. Frankie, if you could name one reason for people out there to join HOSA today, what would it be?
Well, Sam, I think that would have to be the experiences. Going out to the area, meeting new people, and eating delicious food.
How interesting. And Lizzie, what would that one reason be for you?
The reason for me would be the knowledge that you gain, especially over the medical field, as well as our amazing teachers.
Incredible. All right, guys, what would you have to say to all the people out there?
Honestly, join HOSA. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And dues are due by October 16th.
And shout out to our health staff. We love you, Miss Hutchings.
Oh, yeah, we love Miss Hutchings.
All right, would you like to introduce your other HOSA officers here?
Yes, I would. So, over here, we have our secretaries, Dia and Karen. And then over here, we have our HOSA reps, David and Chris.
Okay, HOSA on 3. 1, 2, 3. HOSA!
Lastly, we decided to change things up a bit and do a new segment. Over to you, Sarah.
Good morning, Mount Pleasant. My name is Sarah Ben Hoos, and today we're introducing a new segment called Rapid Fire's Q&A. Now tell us, Ephraim, if you could choose one song to play every time you go into a room, what would it be?
Firework by Katy Perry.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Probably invisibility, cause I don't know. That seems cool.
When you go out of town, when do you pack your suitcase?
Either like 12 o'clock the night before or like really early the morning of either or.
What do you think of garden gnomes?
I don't really know their purpose, so do your thing, garden gnomes.
And that was Ephraim coming live to support Garden Gnome Lives. And now for our second guest, Michael. Tell us, Michael, if you could choose one song to play every time you go into a room, what would it be?
Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Based. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Super strength so I could beat off my enemies.
Based. If you were to go out of town, when would you pack your suitcase?
A week early.
What do you think of garden gnomes?
They're creepy.
But what's their purpose?
I don't know.
Valid answers from Michael. And now for our fourth guest, my teacher, Coach Rolf. So tell us, Coach Rolf, if you could play one song every time you walk into a room, what would it be?
Number 1 by Nelly.
Based. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Teleportation. So I never have to drive to work or travel anywhere. I could just be there.
That's actually really based. When you go out of town, when do you pack your suitcase?
My wife packs my suitcase.
Do you not pack your own suitcase?
No.
That's kind of sad. What do you think of garden gnomes?
I think they're there to scare off cats, mice. Maybe they come alive in the evening. Just off the top of my head.
Do you think they hold all the eldritch powers in the universe?
No.
And that was from Coach Rolf. And finally, for our last guest, Daniel. So tell me, Daniel, if you could choose one song to play every time you walk into a room, what would it be?
Club Banger 3000.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Probably scaling a wall because I want to feel like Spider-Man.
That's actually really based. When you go out of town, when do you pack your suitcase?
Probably like 30 minutes before.
Yeah, that's based. What do you think of garden gnomes?
I think they're alright to have around, but also like they could act like a throwing thing if someone gets on your property or something.
Do you think they have a bigger purpose?
What do you? I don't know. Maybe.
Thank you. And this was the interview section of Mount Pleasant Mornings.
Thank you all for tuning in to another week of Mount Pleasant Mornings. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Adios.